Hey everyone, NAVA here, and I'm a Persian singer and DJ, and this program is called Eastern Clubbing with NAVA. So each episode, I'll be focusing on different scenes, different DJs, producers, and artists from the Middle East, the Levant area, and North Africa, just to spread more awareness, just give them a spotlight. Also because these are some class act producers and DJs and musicians, and I feel like I really want to deep dive into their, history, their creativity, their process, and how they started and what their journey was, and just to give them a little shout out from time to time. The whole concept of Middle Eastern clubbing actually started with me just really being interested in that whole scene as a DJ and playing a lot of tracks from these producers. And I said, why not actually kind of get to meet all these producers and research them and see how they have reached where they are and what their journey was, and their inspirations, because they all have a very unique kind of sound that is very specific also to their locations as well, and the whole journey of finding themselves and going back to their roots. So this is Eastern Clubbing, and I am Nava, and this is episode 9. I must mention that this episode is a very special one, and it really has a deep place in my heart because I will be focusing only on female voices of the underground and music scene, and also the classical and traditional music scene of Iran, and of female artists who are based in Iran, which is a very precious moment for us, especially since in Iran singing and being a female singer is a crime. So these women are actually just holding the torch for a whole generation and a whole group of other girls who follow them, and just a whole music scene that wouldn't exist if it weren't for them and their bravery being based in Iran. As a Persian artist myself, I am beyond proud to be introducing these incredible ladies, especially in this historical moment whilst Iran is facing a mass internet blackout since the beginning of January, and we have no news from any of them or anybody from inside Iran at the moment. And so I wanted to dedicate this entire episode to my Persian sisters and their voices, their stories, and their courage. So the first artist that we'll be focusing on today is Sahar Brujerdi. Sahar Brujerdi was born in 1988 in Tehran, and she is an esteemed Iranian traditional vocalist, and her musical journey began at the age of 15 when she immersed herself in the art of setar, which is a traditional music instrument with chords, and she's one of the masters. And eventually she ventured into singing after a few years. So other than setar, Sahar also mastered tar. So she's a poly-instrumentalist with Arshad Tahmasbi, who's one of the grandmasters of tar in Iran, and setar with Mohammad Reza Lotfi, who is one of the biggest teachers of traditional music you could ever have. So already being taught by such great masters means that she had an incredible potential as well herself, just like kept on growing and growing in this industry. And these are some of the greatest masters and musicians in Iran. So it's incredible to have great masters teach other students that are just like blooming in this industry, let's say. And she is one of the youngest and most talented vocalists of Iranian traditional music. And she captivates the audience with her commanding vocal presence, infusing stages with both elegance and simplicity. We're going to listen to one of her live performances in a little bit, and it's just like a magical journey that you are just traveling with her voice and just reaching these galactical notes and also feelings. Literally, you can just, travel with your mind and with your spirit and soul, which is something rooted deep into traditional music and traditional poetry of Iran. To mention that Sahar's extensive repertoire includes performances in renowned musical theaters, puppet operas, and distinguished documentaries, and has contributed to numerous productions at Théâtre de Ville in Paris. So she has been also exporting the musical traditions of Iran also outside of Iran, let's say. So now I'm going to be playing a live performance of Sahar and her band of all poly-instrumentalists, incredible Iranian musicians and masters. And it is called Khalvat Khas.
صدگونه صفات مظهر آمد دل خلوت خاص دل بر آمد دل بر ذکرم به دل بر آمد جان آینه جمال جانان تن خاک دیار دل بر آمد از عکس فروغ روی دلدار از عکس فروغ روی دلدار دل آینه منور آمد دل آینه منور آمد شد محفل دل ز غیر خالی شد محفل دل ز غیر خالی یار از در دل بری در آمد یار از در دل بری در آمد جز دلم کوزه ازل تا به ابد عاشق جاودان کس نشنیدم که در این کار به ما صدای سخن عشق ندیدم خوشتر از صدای سخن
I also wanted to mention that in Iranian traditional singing, you actually learn by mimicking your professor. So there's no specific maybe technique that you have to study, but it's just like we call it learning from the heart and by heart because it's literally transmitted that way. So that is one of the most incredible things about learning how to sing Persian music. You must realize that when what we just listened to is actually incredible, not only because of Sahar's one-of-a-kind voice, but also the fact, the lengths that women go through to just have their voice be as loud as possible, because it's something that is, as I was saying before, illegal and considered a crime. So by these women being solo singers and performing these shows and these concerts, it's actually them risking their freedom, their lives, and also just the right to ever get on stage and perform again. So the stakes are very, very high, and it's something that it's a complete rebellion and fight, I'd say, but just as well.
خلوت خاص دل برآمد دل خلوت خاص دل برآمد دل خلوت خاص دل برآمد.
Incredible. I literally get goosebumps every time. So the next artist that I'm going to introduce to you is actually a sister duo, Mojgan and Marjan Khoshandam. And Mojgan Khoshandam is an Iranian musician, composer, and arranger, and vocalist, known for her work in traditional and folk music for Greater Khorasan, which is one of the biggest regions in Iran. And I also love the fact that other than traditional poetry that these artists are singing, we also have a way to preserve our folk music and our folk traditions through these incredible artists, just giving them a second life and singing them and performing them and not holding back. Along with her sister Marjan, they are the members of the Mojan band, and this track that I'm going to play for you guys right now is an all-women ensemble of Khorasani women, obviously, that are playing traditional folk instruments. And with the Khoshandam sisters being the lead singers, we could listen to a full women-driven and women band and musicians with the sisters singing the traditional folk tales. And I absolutely recommend you watch the video as well, because you can see these women playing at the hillside of the Persian plateau that is completely blossomed, and it's during spring in our Nowruz period, where the spring has come and the earth is reborn. So this is also an incredible video to watch as well, so I definitely recommend it. It's called Iranian Folk Music Mojan Band.
کرشمم عطر گل پیرهنم چشمام سرمم شلوار چین چینی با شال ترمم با تو دنیای مشوق و فزارم روی نگارم عطر انارم عاشقم آرزوم دیدن یارم باغ خیالم غرق بهارم ای گل نازم و مهر تو جویم بیقرارم بگو گم کرده کویم تا کی نشینم آیی به سویم
Okay, so the next artist that we are going to be focusing on is Hale Seifizadeh, one of my absolute faves. Hale Seifizadeh is an Iranian traditional singer, like Sahar, as we mentioned before, and an improviser who, for a considerable part of her life, has committed herself to learning and performing Iranian classical music. She was born in 1984, and at the age of 16, she began performing with Ali Ghamsari and his ensemble, who is one of the most incredible tar players of all time. And she has sung on numerous documentary films and performed internationally as a soloist with the Yad Dost Women Ensemble in the Netherlands and the Hafiz Puppet Opera. So her first concert was at 18 when she performed with Ali Ghamsari, as we mentioned. And now we are going to listen to one of their tracks together. So what you're listening to right now is their live performance. I think it's in the Netherlands, and this is her with the ensemble. We've also listened to a snippet of it at the beginning of the show. So this is Hale Seifizadeh's performance. I also wanted to mention that after these collabs, Hale decided to start working independently as well, which is an incredible risk, but also liberating, I'd imagine, but also very difficult for a woman to be a lead vocalist. So she has had also many issues with the authorities. For example, once where she was the solo voice during a concert, they turned off the microphones and they didn't give her permissions to perform anymore or to step on stage even in a choir. So it has been such a rough ride. through all of this, she has also refused to do only female concerts. But a great thing is that social media has helped her a lot, because she has had her own platform through social media to sing, be a solo artist, I don't know, just show her side and show what she actually wants to show to her audiences. So through social media, she has had a lot of freedom, but the fact that at the moment the internet is completely blacked out in Iran means that even this is a huge issue for them, other than of course vital issues that are happening. But if you think about it, for an artist and her job being a vocalist and being a singer, this is another limitation that is set.
دست به دست مدعی شانه به شانه می روی دست به دست مدعی شانه به شانه می روی آه که با رقیب من جانب خانه می روی
So at the moment, Hale is working on bringing closer traditional arrangements in a modern key to intrigue also a younger audiences. But she's really frustrated how there is a lack of possibility to go on stage in Iran, even though she's been producing many single tracks, but without being able to perform them, she kind of sees it as a waste of effort, and also never really seeing results, because we do go into the studio and write music, but it's also for it to arrive to the masses, like she's performing here in like concerts hall and for the audiences, because it's meant to When asked about leaving Iran, though, Hale mentioned that she doesn't want to leave and to immigrate, especially because if she leaves, she doesn't really know what her audience would be, what her message would be. This is music rooted into centuries and centuries of tradition and culture and heritage. So she feels like she's born there, she has her roots there, and this music is part of the Iranian culture. So she really wants to work on her music in Iran and work on having it being heard in Iran, rather than maybe going outside of Iran and just letting go the idea of expanding her music and her sound in Iran. She mentions that this music is in her land, in her culture, and it wouldn't be the same outside of Iran. Okay, so our next artist, the one that we're just listening to now, is called Nilufar Mohebi. She is a vocalist, but kind of started off as being an instrumentalist, being a violinist. And I have an ironic story about her because basically Nilufar's first source of income was through singing. And I see it ironic because, as we mentioned before, women cannot sing and are not allowed to sing in Iran. So how she got there, you might ask? The story is actually that she was the solo singer of the ending track of this really famous Iranian series called Sarzamin Sabz. And basically she was only supposed to be the draft singer, so she was just going to do the vocal melody, but then it was going to be sung by a choir or also maybe by a man. But the director of the film decided to keep her track and decided to just risk it and keep the track as it is with Nilufar's voice. And the authorities didn't realize it because she was so young at that age that her voice didn't seem like a woman's voice, but maybe like a young boy, little boy's voice. So they allowed the song to play all the way through. And that is kind of like a little glimmer of miracle that happened. After a while, Nilufar stopped performing as a backing vocalist as a form of protest and rebellion against the laws against women being able to sing as solo artists. With the only exception is when she was the backing vocalist and maybe the second vocalist on Mehdi Yarai's album. And this is one of her oldest friends. She said that she has always supported him and always knew where he stood. So that is why she decided to continue her collaborations with him. And the little piece of the track that we're going to listen to right now is from Mehdi Yarai's album. And the track is called Dare Geriye Mikone, where you can see and actually listen to some of Nilufar's backing vocals.
داره گریه میکنه یکی میگفت 2-3 ساله داره گریه میکنه یکی میگفت 2-3 ساله گریه میکنه
Playing the violin at a very young age. She has done collabs with one of Iran's greatest kamancheh players, and the young artist has released her independent album, which is the track that we were listening to before, but it is a no voice only musical album. She composed and arranged most of the pieces, and she mentions that a non-verbal music has a profound effect and pushes the boundaries of the imagination more easily than verbal music. And I want to mention regarding this fact that in an interview, she also talks about the risks that come with her voice. Since singing is considered a crime, she was saying that if one day she gets punished for singing, she wouldn't have the permission to go on stage and play the violin either. So it will be a complete cutoff, and it will be a complete, I don't know, from 100 to 0, let's say. And that would be too great of a risk and too big of a hurt, let's say, because that would be being stripped away from her identity. So I understand how she decided to maybe move a little bit towards a non-verbal track while she's doing her independent work, maybe more in the underground scene at this point. And I admire Nilüfer for still showing up and making herself heard in the best way she can. And that is, of course, through music. Okay, the next artist that we're going to be focusing on kind of is more with a modern touch, let's say. Her name is Tara Salahi, and I'm going to play a track called Qermez, which is her collaboration with one of the biggest rappers in Iran, Mehratiden. And he has been huge ever since I was in Iran, and even now at the moment, after like 15 years. So this track is called Qermez, and it's a featuring between Mehratiden and Tara Salahi.
سفید رنگ خاطرم بود برکشید زردم سبز بود آبیم آبی تر بود نظرت نخواه ازم تو طعم لبخند و از من گرفتی جز
شانس نی چون تاس نی بی نهایت باتری کج نمیره لاستیک تا لغ نزنه شاسی آره زدی ولی جاش نیست باز زدی باز جاش نیست حالا من میزنم بیا بخور تلخ چاشنی نه آرزو ندارم این صحنه رو ببینم که باغچه‌تو زیر و رو کنم و گلاتو بچینم نوبت من رسید ولی نمیتونم بشینم تا سفید بیاد پایین جاش بره بالا So
Tara is an emerging Iranian female singer-songwriter who represents the new wave of vocalists, blending contemporary Persian music with innovative expressions, persisting in creative work despite the restrictions. Because you must notice that the singers that we listened to before kind of practice more into the traditional folk area, but this genre of music is completely illegal. Like, you cannot have this music outside because it's not traditional, it's not folk, so it's a completely underground scene that we're talking about right now.
تو فعلا روشه اسم من رو پوستشه قدر صدا داده تو بدون قرار.
Through these works and performances, Tara contributes to the evolving landscape of female-led singers and music, drawing on both traditional heritage and also modern influences, as you can listen to right now. And Tara says that our biggest challenge is choosing introducing yourself as a singer is never considered a real occupation for women in Iran. And you would be more accepted as a singing teacher rather than a singer. And Tara started off with classical opera herself, then started to take part in choir, but she wanted more. As you can see, there's this constant uniting factor out of all these artists that okay, they could be choir singers, only women concert singers, but we all want more because it's their right, obviously. And she started off with classical music, as I was saying, and had her first solo track with Mehran Hiden, which is the singer that rapper that we're listening to. So their first collaboration was together as well. But she kind of stepped aside from and stepped away from the rap scene because she wanted to experiment more. And she just stepped away from the rap scene because she wanted to challenge herself vocally as well. And after getting some recognition, she still has issues with toxic masculinity that female singers and vocalists face in Iran, even with the producers. At the moment, she's teaching, and she loves it because she says that it kind of shows her what maybe the Gen X and the newer generations are listening to, but also she's a torch and a carrier of light for younger girls who want to follow in her footsteps. She says that sometimes the responsibility is a little too much because we ourselves don't really know what's going to happen and where we're leading ourselves to, but at least we're not alone in the journey. And Tara's working on her independent EP at the moment. Hopefully it will be out soon. I really can't wait to hear about this. And you can follow her on her Telegram. And also she, as I was saying, has had some solo tracks that she has released. One of the most particular ones that I want you guys to listen to is Hamarita, which you could actually see what she meant by stepping away from the rap scene and just immersing herself more into experimenting more with her vocality.
همه آینه ها نشون میدن منو زندگی مثل روده فقط میره جلو پله ها دوتا میگذرن از زیر پام امروز پیش تو فردا معلوم نیست کجا گفتی مهم نیست تو چی میخوای حرفت شد یه میخ روی دیوار نذاشتی ببینی من کجام رفتی یه وقت نبینی گریه ها میکنم بحث با ثانیه میگه کن میرم چون عالیه میکنم بحث با ثانیه میگه کن میرم چون عالیه بزار برم بزار برم بزار برم بزار برم گفتی میشیده ابر تو آسمون گفتی کوتاه به بار بارون دیدی زمان رفت دستمون دیدی دنیا یادش رفت اسممون الان میکنم بحث با ثانیه میگه کن میرم چون عالیه میکنم بحث با ثانیه میگه کن میرم چون عالیه بزار بره بزار بره هرچی بده رو بزار بره بزار بره دیگه شکل منی ساختی ازم دیگه مال من نیست ساختی ازم دیگه شکل من نیست دیگه مال من نیست.
Beautiful. Okay, so the last artist that we're going to be talking about today is called Vatani. Tannaz is a rapper based in Tehran who is active in the underground scene but also experimenting with R&B. She is part of the Rap Show collective in Iran, which is a platform for the healthy development of rap and hip-hop in Iran, obviously underground. And Rap Show produces content in support of Persian rappers. And I must say that in the underground scene, we're having a boom in Persian female rappers that is incredible, because maybe at the beginning it was not so seen and maybe they weren't taken as seriously as they are now, but these women are just incredible and have a lot more to say, actually. So I love how finally we're having the recognition that, and also being role models for other girls who want to be rappers, and just seeing them can lead to them also cultivating their craft and their talent. Vatani focuses on social issues in her rap. So this track that I'll play for you guys is her episode during the Azmaishgah laboratory, which is kind of like a Red Bull 28 bar situation. And we're going to have a taste of that right now.
Vatani. Hey. بیا سرطان قرمز توف گوله گوله عشق نمیاد از چشامت تا دونه دونه رفیقا جای دشمن آسین تنگ مار نمیره بالا از این تن چیزی نمونده که بکنید برید بیایید مشتری بشیم خرید و فروش عشق تخم نفرت توی چشم حسادت جای چیو میکنه پر مگه فلز میفهمه از حس چیزی خودت تو خودت چی دیدی این مهمه جستو که نمیتونه کسی بگیره تصمیم اگه تغییر لازمه دیر نی تو کوچیکی دنیا بزرگ یاد میده بهت تو بکنی رشد انقدی بری بالا تا ترسات بریزه دل بشه قرص چی داری کم خیره به وجدان خودت تو اتاقی که شده تیره پس داده رنگت آدم با نقاب قشنگ که جرأت تو کی کرده در کشمزه حقیقت تلخه چی برمیاد قلبت آینه شکسته خودتی و خشمت نبریم از یاد تا غرق نشیم تو جا به جا ایرد بشیم شب تاریک پیداش میشه نور ما تو مسیر جنگ بود و کودتا ولی هنو رو پاهامم رو برام خونی مالی کجا موج پیدام بکن تو کوچه ها پوتین تو پا حساب جدا خونت رنگی به خونه ما تشنه میشه بدون شانس بگو کی میریزه تاس وقتی گلوله تو صورت جاش بگو کی میریزه تاس مشت گره خورده نمیشه باز ای کی میریزه تاس وقتی گلوله تو صورت جاش ای کی میریزه تاس مشت گره خورده نمیشه باز نه نمیشه باز نه نمیشه باز وقتی گلوله تو صورت جاش مشت گره خورده نمیشه باز
At the moment, there are no updates and no news on any of these artists that I've been mentioning today. So, due to the ongoing complete internet blackout in Iran, this is a really scary situation. So, now more than ever, it's time to amplify their voices. I'll be ending this episode with the track that is called Moon's Blood, performed by Sahar Burujerdi, who was the first artist that we talked about today. And it talks about how the moon is bleeding, and it's from 2024, and it's ironic how the situation is still going on. So I wanted to end this with this track, which is quite symbolic, and just to mention how the situation in Iran is still in a complete blackout, and hopefully you guys will go and amplify these voices and listen to these artists, because they're just incredible talents. And you definitely should also look at their videos as well, because they're absolutely one of a kind and just a whole different universe.
این جوی خون از خون جوونه
خون جوونه
خون جوونه این خونه کیه این خونه کیه این خونه ماهه این خونه ماهه این خونه ماهه این خونه چه خوش افسانه میگویی به افسونهای خاموشی مرا از یاد خود بستان مرا از یاد خود بستان خواب فراموشی خواب فراموشی این خواب فراموشی این خواب فراموشی زوج چشم مستم چون دل سرگشته برگیرم که من خود غرق خواهم شد که من خود غرق خواهم شد